Other interesting political news, you have Kamala CNN quote-unquote interview highlights, and they go pretty viral. And it was so bad, CNN removed 23 minutes of the interview. She also had her companion Tim Walz there. Bizarre. And she even fumbled questions and flip-flopped. I'm not sure if she worked at a department store. I'm sure she got a discount on knee pads throughout her career, but she just flip-flops left and right. And again, this is CNN. Of all the layups in the world, of all the softballs you can get, this should have been like Mark McGwire playing t-ball with someone tossing him a ball. You're going on CNN in a controlled environment. You know they gave her the questions ahead of time, and he still crashed and burned, which is saying how inept someone is. If they have the questions, it's almost unfair. Like, everyone knew she wouldn't take interviews for a reason, and yet she did worse than people thought, which is saying something. Now, one of the first clips I noticed came from Charlie Kirk, which he says, quote, "Watch Dana Bash ask Kamala the question we've all been wondering." And it's about minute 25, and it's funny, it says CNN Live, but it wasn't. And they waited, what was it, like over a month for the first interview?
My proposal includes what would be a tax credit of $25,000 for first-time home buyers. So they
Communism. Literally giving a great way to jack up housing prices. We're just going to give them $25,000. What? Yeah, just go Brave search or Google search the 2008 recession. How exactly did that start? I have a good intention. Everyone deserves a house. That's good intention. Yeah, poorly executed, failed miserably, destroyed the economy. Yeah. Never forget one of the best, one of the most historic quotes ever. The road to hell is paved with good intentions.
They can just have enough to put a down payment on a home, which is part of the American dream and their aspiration, but do it in a way that allows them to actually get on the path to achieving that goal and that dream.
So you have been vice president for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
The steps that you're talking about now, why haven't you done them already?
It's almost like Office Space. What would you say you do around here? It's a good question, because we all know, people even on the left, pretty not controversial these days. Everyone's kind of in agreement. Biden's mentally declined rapidly throughout the past couple of years. That's the question: who is really calling the shots these past couple of years?
Well, first of all, we had to recover as an economy, and we have done that. I'm very proud of the work that we have done that has brought.
It's so bad the dollar store stock crashed 30+%. People can't even afford the dollar store, or the Dollar General. Dollar Store is a separate main competitor of that. Again, tell me one person who honestly believes the economy's good right now, and they're not just shilling.
Inflation down to less than 3%. The work that we have done to cap the cost of insulin at $35 a month for seniors.
More lies. So the inflation, again, the best example I can give in terms of correlating it to something that's very easy for anyone to understand, just ask someone, if you weighed 100 pounds and you gained 30 pounds one week, you gained 20 pounds next week, gained 15 pounds next week, then you gained another 10 pounds, then you gained another 5 pounds. Are you losing weight? Is it your situation improving in life? No, the rate at which you're gaining weight is decreasing, but your life still is rough and getting worse by the moment. And then when it comes to the insulin thing, that's been debunked way before. Because again, Trump had the policy. He had the policy. All Biden had to do was sit back and hang out at the beach, and the economy would have been great. They had to pass all that junk like the Inflation Reduction Act that makes alive all the time. Perhaps second only to the Patriot Act. But yeah, the insulin thing, Trump literally started that. Biden specifically stopped it just so he could restart it and claim credit for it. Give me a break.
Donald Trump said he was going to do a number of things, including allowing Medicare to negotiate drug prices. Never happened. We did it. So now, as I travel in the state of Georgia and around our country, the number of seniors that have benefited.
So fact check. There are a lot of images of Tim Walz wearing an emotional support dog, lackey little harness. In the interview that we're saying, he does not actually have that harness on him at this time, nor does he have a little card on him that says emotional support on him. So you have to debunk that. That was going viral on the Twitter.
I was in Nevada recently, a grandmother who showed me her receipts. And before we capped the cost of insulin for seniors at $35 a month, she was paying hundreds of dollars, up to thousands of dollars a month for her insulin. She's not doing that anymore.
You maintain Bidenomics is a success.
I maintain that when we do the work of bringing down prescription medication for the American people, including capping the cost of the annual cost of prescription medication for seniors at $2,000.
Pretty well. I got 4.4 million views and 46. Let's make it 47. Oh, okay. Still like it, but wasn't the additional like needed to get to 47,000 likes. One of the first, let's see here. One of the first comments comes from Paul Zupa saying, quote, Kamala didn't answer a question. She just pivoted to prescription drug costs, which Biden Harris soon rose after entertaining office. Only later did they bring them down to what Trump had them at. She doesn't get credit for that. Getting 2.4 thousand likes. Yep. Yeah, I mean, she's very much a politician. She dodged that question. I will not comply, says, quote, wait, a tax credit, that's not the same thing as supplying $25,000 for down payment assistance. This is missing context for people who might vote for this thinking it's going to get assistance for them to go to get tax credits post the purchase of a home, getting 2.5 thousand likes. Let's see here. Let's see. Charleston White House Muse says, quote, can't believe no one noticed she was reading statement. She was reading statement and flipped through pages.
Palestinians have been killed. It matters. Far too many innocent Palestinians have been killed.
You're right.
And we have got to get a deal done. We were in Doha. We have to get a deal done. This war must end, and we must get a deal that is about getting the hostages out. I've met with the families.
Remember when we did a president office where there's no new wars for the first time in our life? Yeah, that's pretty nice. Got 3.1 thousand likes for that comment. Logan's Run says, wait a moment. Since when is inflation under 3%? Yeah, good question. Got 3.9 thousand likes. S says, Trump capped insulin at $35 for seniors, just saying they lie about everything. 6.9 thousand likes. Mike Sarsaparilla says, I've never seen a more incompetent human, gain 3.1 thousand likes. Let's see here. Oh, here's a good infographic. Z Ghost said, less than 3%. Yep, that's true. And it says, if you need a reason to unfriend me, go ahead, since I'm going to remind you all every single day until November 5th. It says, gasoline up 46.6%. Fuel oil up 59.1%. Natural gas up 28.1%. Used automotive vehicles up 26.4%. Beef up 20.1%. Pork up 14.1%. Bacon up 15.4%. Chicken up 8.8%. Eggs up 11.6%. Milk up 4.3%. Apples up 6.7%. Coffee up 40.7%. Baby food increased 7.9%. Electricity up 6.5%. And so picture juxtaposed with a picture of Kamala saying, I did that, getting 877 likes, which it is fascinating. I try to join the Facebook groups for like Trump as well as Biden as well as Kamala, just to see the different perspectives out there. And there are people who are not inebriated. I don't think they're drinking Bud Light or anything, but they authentically think that the grocery store prices aren't that bad. Which, again, I just got some, like, I splurged. I got some, what was it, the Honeycrisp apples a couple weeks ago. Got a couple of those in my grocery cart. And it was ridiculous. It's like, what was it, $7-8? It was rough. It blows my mind. There are people who don't think prices are that bad. Again, groceries are about a 2% industry profit margin. So it's not like the stores are making, they're not buying Cadillacs because they're selling apples. Let's see here. Dolly says Trump capped insulin, Biden stopped it. She has no power. She has no answer in all word salad, getting 882 likes. Let's go to the second clip. Maybe she surprises us with her eloquence and brilliance. And probably, no, she doesn't, but it's still entertaining. This comes to us thanks to Steve Cortez, who says, CNN, what would you do day one in White House? Kamala, incoherent answer. CNN, so what would you do day one? Which again, day one was, what was it, 3.5 years ago? But let's hear what I was about to say, what she tries to say.
Way here in Georgia.
And, I don't know, pretty sure I might have to go to WebsterDictionary.com. Like, I don't know, Tim Walz just looks so awkward there. And I don't have much ground to stand on in terms of social awkwardness, but he's literally just standing. I think he speaks once or twice, maybe? We won't see, no spoilers. But yeah, he's just sitting there. Why was he there? But nevertheless.
Yeah. You have less time to make your case to voters than any candidate in modern American history. The voters are really eager to hear what your plans are. If you are elected, what would you do on day one in the White House?
Well, there are a number of things. I will tell you, first and foremost, one of my highest priorities is to do what we can to support and strengthen the middle class. When I look at the aspirations, the goals, the ambition.
What about securing the border so we don't have Venezuelans taking over apartment complexes like a third world country? What about fixing inflation? What about getting rid of some regulations so costs of the businesses can thrive? They'll keep. Well, name one thing you're going to do here. Maybe she surprises us with some excellent bullet points.
Of the American people. I think that people are ready for a new way forward, in a way that generations of Americans have been fueled by hope and by optimism. I think, sadly, in the last decade, we have had in the former president someone who has really been pushing an agenda and in an environment that is about diminishing the character and the strength of who we are as Americans, really dividing our nation. And I think people are ready to turn the page on that.
So what would you do day one?
Day one, it's going to be about, one, implementing my plan for what I call an opportunity economy. I've already laid out a number of proposals in that regard, which include what we're going to do to bring down the cost of everyday goods, what we're going to do to invest in America's small businesses, what we're going to do to invest in families, for example, extending the child tax credit to $6,000 for families for the first year of their child's life, to help them buy a car seat, to help them buy baby clothes, a crib. There's the work that we're going to do that is about investing in the American family around affordable housing, a big issue in our country right now. So there are a number of things on day one.
What about you?
Well, I guess he tried to say something, but realistically, he would probably say absolutely nothing of substance. Got a little over 100,000 views and 2.2 thousand likes. One of the first ones comes from Eli saying this isn't a day one answer, it's gibberish, getting 106 likes. Sebastian Kaminski says her voice is clearly shaking, she's lying, and that's why, getting 48 likes. Yeah, Lord only knows what she would do if that happens. Marty says she is unable to speak coherently or make eye contact, blabbering blabberpuss. Getting 70 likes, new term. Texan in Seattle, no. That poor son of a gun. He's in Seattle? Why would he go to Seattle? This is the antithesis of Texas. I mean, they tried to get rid of like 30-round magazines a couple months ago. Poor guy. Nevertheless, he says definitely not live. The amount of editing that must have done to go from nuclear disaster to train wreck boggles the mind. 74 likes. I would love to have seen an uncut, live version. They still haven't released the transcripts either. I don't think they will either. Good old Kamala. We'll do another one. And this is hilariously... Now, this clip actually comes to us from Kamala HQ on X Twitter. So, I mean, this is supposed to be a whole organization, a whole group, or a whole profile on X Twitter. It's all about, talking about how great Kamala is. Yeah. So, question is, actually, no, I'll just go ahead and I'll play that. It's about 34 seconds long.
I want to ask you about your opponent, Donald Trump.
Okay.
I was a little bit surprised. People might be surprised to hear that you have never interacted with him, met him face to face. That's going to change soon. But what I want to ask you about is what he said last month. He suggested that you happened to turn black recently for political purposes, questioning a core part of your identity.
Yeah.
Any?
Same old tired playbook. Next question, please.
That's it?
That's it.
Even CNN's trying to get a real answer out of her. Just saying something. Jeez. It's almost like Stephen King. Look at that. Ooh, jeez, that's horrifying. And again, if you look at her political career, she's like the definition of chameleon. She was bragging early in her career about being one of the first Indian senators. I mean, she changes based on her audience. Just like when she went to, Georgia a couple weeks ago? Completely did a new fake accent. Or I should clarify, an accent as authentic as her personality. Now, this went pretty well. Got 2 million views and 20,000 likes. The first one is coming from Franklin. So you do have a contrarian statement right off the bat, saying, quote, not sure why Bash asked Harris this question. Trump can just get away with saying the most vile stuff. The media will try to force Kamala to answer to it. That did get 672 likes. Here. Responded to it was Suga B, saying, because CNN is irrevocably on the Trump train for views and the clicks, getting 21 likes. They're trying to say that CNN likes Trump. Now that is comical. Here. Democrats are illiterate liars. That is a very specific profile name. It probably has a little bit of bias in there, saying Democrats are pure filth, getting 2 likes. Brendiana Morrow says, and they wonder why she didn't immediately sit down for an interview, getting 19 likes. Oh, a couple contrarian statements. Jay says, so is she black, Indian, or confused? She couldn't answer that, getting 32 likes. Paul Zupa saying about, well, I'm actually, of all things to be concerned about, I'd be more concerned about her father in terms of his teaching. He was a Marxist. So again, I'm more worried about the ideologies of her heritage. Now, you also have Ven Cass saying, deflecting hate with grace and focus. Well said, getting 1.2 thousand likes. Rich Mooney says Trump is right to the point. Weird identity politics that obsesses with the left, getting 53 likes. You have, here, Martin Bardoff says, well done, don't even dignify the question. Getting 708 likes. Looks like this might be her most successful thing ever. See here. Any contrary, actually, that's the most popular sentiment. Let's see. 595 likes from Urban Myths Legend saying this has to be the stupidest, most offensive question of all history of stupid and offensive questions. I don't know, that's a long list. I don't know if this is the most one. But I'm pretty proud this actually seemed to work in Kamala's favor. All these, well, a majority of these comments are all in her favor. Interesting. You have one person by the name of Real Vinny John saying she avoided the question. She needs to answer why she plays that card. She needs to be called on the carpet for all the black lives she ruins. I'm so sick of this Soviet-style propaganda and nonsense. She's not president material. Getting 50 likes. Here. S. Eccles, PhD, says this entire interview was only 18 minutes and CNN refuses to release the full transcript. Never mind being pre-recorded. What are they hiding in the shell game? Getting 66 likes. Yeah, good question. What are they? I do have one more clip of the Kamala. This comes straight from the Kamala headquarters. Same profile. So this should also, maybe it will be mostly positive responses. Might be mentally vacuous, but says, quote, President pray. Oh no, we'll just go ahead and we gotta love when the commentary before the video is just the same transcript. Not much added value there, but nevertheless.
I believe there should be consequence. We have laws that have to be followed and enforced that address and deal with people who cross our border illegally, and there should be consequence. And let's be clear, in this race, I'm the only person who has prosecuted transnational criminal organizations who traffic in guns, drugs, and human beings. I'm the only person in this race who actually served a border state as Attorney General to enforce our laws, and I would enforce our laws as president going forward. I recognize the problem.
Well, I'm sorry, what have you been doing? Oh, man, what have you been doing with the border for the past 3.5 years, Miss Border Czar? Of all the jobs that Biden assigned to you, that was one of the few. You're supposedly fixing that? Right, the antithesis, the opposite. There have been more illegal crossing the United States in the past 40 months than pretty much any other time in history.
Generally speaking, how should voters look at some of the changes that you've made, that you've explained some of here in your policy? Is it because you have more experience now and you've learned more about the information? Is it because you were running for president in a Democratic primary? And should they feel comfortable and confident that what you're saying now is going to be your policy moving forward?
Dana, I think the most important and most significant aspect of my policy perspective and decisions is my values have not changed. You mentioned the Green New Deal. I have always believed, and I have worked on it, that the climate crisis is real, that it is an urgent matter to which we should apply metrics that include holding ourselves to deadlines around time. We did that with the Inflation Reduction Act. We have set goals for the United States of America and by extension the globe.
Did it reduce inflation? No, it caused more inflation.
Around when we should meet certain standards for reduction of greenhouse gas emissions, as an example. That value has not changed. My value around what we need to do to secure our border, that value has not changed. I spent 2 terms as the Attorney General of California prosecuting transnational criminal organizations, violations of American laws regarding the illegal passage of guns, drugs, and human beings across our border. My values have not changed. So that is the reality of it. In 4 years of being vice president, I'll tell you, one of the aspects to your point is traveling the country extensively. I mean, I'm here in Georgia. I think somebody told me 17 times since I've been vice president in Georgia alone. I believe it is important to build consensus, and it is important to find a common place of understanding of where we can actually solve problems.
On that note.
Yeah, I don't know about that. And Winfrey, well, I got it's about 250,000 views and 8.3 thousand likes. One of the first comments comes from Jay saying she changed on the border wall, changed on immigration, changed on climate change, changed on taxes, changed on numbers, anything. Getting 9 likes. Paul Zupa says, quote, Kamala has no values. She slept with a married man twice her age to springboard her career. The last 3.5 years, she's wrecked the U.S. border and economy. She's completely incompetent and has no business in serving the public office. Getting 45 likes. You also have America Papa Bear saying she's always been a Marxist. Now she's failing in an election. She's a fraud, getting 28 likes. You have Aaron Black, who says, quote, it's time for a leader who inspires us to change to be our best selves. Kamala Harris embodies hope, optimism, and joy. Let's reject the darkness and choose a brighter future. Mentally vacuous, lies, but it did get 106 likes and 23 comments, with one of the first ones being, let's see here. Garrett Valdez says, let's bring the joy to the breadline, getting 2, let's make it 3 likes. BB says, I could give a shit about hope and optimism and joy. I want someone who's going to put more money in my wallet. She's not going to do either of those. Unless she's going to take more money out of your wallet. KPEH says she's a communist. She'll ruin the United States. You didn't vote for her in 2020 and you didn't vote for her in 2024. How could you want that? So, ratio by number of comments, but not by number of likes. One bad dude says she sure flip-flops all the time. It's called lies, getting 44 likes. Rocco Nation says, now stop lies, choose wisely America. And picture Trump with the sign says, I gave everything up for these people. And Kamala has a sign says, I throw innocent people in prison to hold it into power. Getting 28 likes. Let's see here. Somebody, Robbie says we need to give her a supermajority in both chambers. She will bring bipartisan border bill and it will pass. She will close the border. That's not supposed to be a comedy or a comedic comment. It got 36 likes. How mentally vacuous this person is. Yeah. They literally, the one border bill that they brag about, that Republicans, I'll give credit for Republicans doing something right, they didn't sign it. A majority of that bill was literally going to give money to the Ukraine, corrupt government, and then it was going to be for border processing in the U.S. southern border, not border security. So just allow us to process more people to come in here illegally. Kamala Harris HQ Lies, good profile name, says, quote, her values have changed, but her values have changed and continue to change, probably due to the abysmal states going from her administration. Getting 569 likes. Dennis Barb says values should never change. Policies and stances are always open to change, but values should never be. And quote, getting 54 likes and correct. Christy Lade says you allowed all manner of criminals across our border and nearly lost nearly 300,000 children. Criminal gangs from other countries are taking over apartment buildings. You had one job, fail. Getting 29 likes. Burt Macklin says she completely avoided the question that was being asked, getting 61 likes. True. So, yeah, apparently it's starting to hurt her in the polls more and more, and I'm not too surprised, because again, it's one of the worst interviews. It's almost impressive how much of a failure it was. But apparently she probably had the questions ahead of time. It was not live, so it's pre-recorded, heavily edited, and a majority of it was edited out, so we never see it. Same with the transcript is covered up, and yet what we were allowed to see is still comically bad. Which is why I suspect she wasn't allowed, or she didn't talk to the press for months and weeks. And yeah, this if there's a debate with Trump, it is going to be, as Trump might say, legendary. It'll be great, the greatest debate of all time. Probably going to say something to that effect. And let me know, do you think anyone is, again, there was a couple comments in here who were impressed by her recent interview with CNN, but overall, just viscerally roasting her. Let me know in the comments if you think at the end of the day it actually helped her more than it hurt her. As always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight,